3, 2, 1, action.
Hello and welcome. This is the CIA corner here on TAF TV. Ayo Keme is my name. You know this is where we make commentaries regarding every single headlines as it keeps unfolding. Alright, today we'll be talking about what has been happening currently. But before we actually get to address the topic of the day, I want to throw these big questions to every single Nigerians out there. Now, after our 10 days of protest, Nigerians, how far have we actually moved? Are we where we were 10 days ago? Now, we'll talk about these headlines when we come back from this very quick break. Do well to stay tuned. Alright, you're welcome back from that very quick break. Now, before this 10 days protest that actually started on the 1st of August to 10th, it lasted for 10 days. And the very last day, I overheard on a news headline that they want to carry out a 1 million man march across 36 states of the Federation. Here in Rivers State, I must confess, it didn't actually hold. And most persons are actually wondering why Nigerians didn't come out for the 1 million march that was supposed to round up the End Bad Governance protest. But there is this particular question that keeps ringing in our hearts, though most Nigerians have been skipping it during the days of protest. After this protest, just like I asked earlier, where are we? What is the aftermath of this particular protest that we took place? Has it actually yielded any fruits yet, or are we still waiting on our federal government to actually address us regarding the End Bad Government? So last, it still boils back to the fact that, okay, the federal government has the final say. It still boils back to the fact that the federal government has the final say. Nigerians actually demonstrated their rights, but can only be executed by the high and mighty on the throne, that is our federal government. So we're still hoping, I know every single Nigerians are still hoping that at the end of these 10 days, the federal government would at least heed to our demands. Now, away from the protest, of late we've been talking about the protest for the past 10 days. Now, still regarding the happenings here in our dearest nation, Nigeria, we're still addressing the matters. Should I say we're actually back to where we actually kicked up from, because the last protest that took 10 days across our 36 states is yet to actually yield enough fruit for Nigerians to eat. Now, let's actually talk about what we've been addressing before now. Our federal government putting blames on the past administration. Now, it is no longer news that here in Nigeria, since we got our democracy for 25 years now and still counting, that every administration that comes in putting blames on the past administration. Now, the Muhammad Buhari's administration blamed Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration for not putting things in place. And now, the Tinubu's led administration came into play, and yet is still blaming, though our current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said he's going to follow the footprint of our dearest president, our ex-president, our ex-president Muhammad Buhari, but yet he's still putting on the blames on the past administration. That the reason why this government is not moving well, the reason why it looks as if we're going through a lot as a nation, is because the past administration did not actually do very well. They didn't lay a solid foundation. So the big question is, do we keep putting blames on past administration? I have earlier said this before. Before you actually step into power, or before you demand a place, now this is a personal opinion, before you actually seek a place of authority, I feel there should have been a draft, or should I say a master plan, that, okay, this is what I'm going to do my first year in office, this is what I'm going to do my first 100 days in office. I feel that is how leadership should be. Not that, okay, after some months where some persons are actually complaining, you're now putting blames on the past administration. Yes, it is very okay that, okay, you're throwing stones at the past administrations and expecting Nigerians to actually fall back to it. But it is also demanding of you as a leader that, okay, you should man up and take up responsibilities. Now, this was what resulted to the End Bad Governance protest that took place for 10 good days across the 36 states of our federation, because our federal government refused to man up and take responsibilities, but rather they kept putting blames on the past administration. Just like I earlier said, this was the after effect that resulted to the End Bad Government and Tinubu must go protest that took place 10 days ago. But the blames and the allegations are still looming on the decks of our dearest president. All right, in an earlier development during the weekend, our NLC, that is our Nigerian Labour Congress, had a Federal Executive Council meeting during the weekend, and one of the things they actually addressed was this: our government putting blames on the past administration. That is stating it clearly that, okay, the Buhari's-led administration did not do well. That is why they are not actually doing well. And they also address the aspect of bad policies by the Tinubu's-led administration, stating that it looks as if this particular government were not ready to actually lead. They just wanted the leadership position but never wanted to take responsibility. So the NLC are yet again calling out our federal government, telling them to stop putting blames on the past administration. Rather, they should look into, okay, this is what we should do. They should look into how to resolve the matters on ground rather than putting blames on the past administration. And they also address, just like I earlier said, they also address the bad policies. And we know one of the things that actually took Nigerian youth to the street was the bad policies. That is the very one that has the hashtag, the one that has to do with removal of subsidy, which resulted to where we are today. I don't need to explain this aspect to you, because as long as you're a Nigerian, you actually understand the hit we are going through. This removal of subsidy actually affected every single aspect. We will not talk less of the electricity tariff that is currently making rounds on every single headline this very morning. A lot has been happening. So our NLC are calling out on the federal government yet again, but this time they are telling them to stop putting blames. It is not fair that you're a leader currently, but you're putting blames on another person that has left office already. It looks as if you were not ready to lead, you just needed that leadership position. And another person that still addressed this particular issue regarding our federal government putting blames on the past administration and bad policies that is currently ruining our dearest nation, Nigeria. One of the persons that also addressed this particular federal government putting blames on the past administration and the bad policies that has ruined our dearest nation, Nigeria, is no other person than Peter Obi. We know of late, I keep saying it, that Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and the likes of it have not been quiet when it comes to the happenings in our dearest nation, Nigeria. So they are yet again calling out, or should I say, this is another, should I say this is an executive protest now? The youth have actually protested on the street, but now the officials are protesting. All right, now, also addressing this particular issue, Peter Obi yet again came out to say that, okay, the more reasons why Nigerians actually hit to the street for the past 10 days is to call our governance to book. That's to call the presidency to address the very common situations in our dearest nation, Nigeria, rather than putting blames and bringing up policies that do not favor the people. Now, these are the words of Peter Obi in person. And lastly, just like I earlier said, NLC are dragging our federal government yet again, telling them they should stop putting blames on the past administration, that they should also go to their drawing boards. The reason why they were elected should be implemented. They should stop putting blames. Now, remember, our dearest President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said he's going to follow the footprint of Buhari, but we as Nigerians were yet to actually see that very footprint. So at this point, just like the 10 days protests have actually ended, we're still waiting on our federal government to address. It will not be fair that Nigerians actually hit to the streets for 10 days and our dearest president, our daddies of daddies, is yet to address us yet again regarding is yet to address Nigerians and Nigerians' views regarding the happenings in our dearest nation, Nigeria. We just hope and pray that at the end of the day, our president will actually bring down some policies to favor the people. Now, this is the heart cry of every single Nigerians out there. Remember, this is the CIA corner where you can make commentaries regarding headlines that are making rounds on a newspaper. Do well to slide to our comment sections and drop your reactions regarding what is currently going on in our dearest nation, Nigeria. My name is Ayo Keme. Do well to take care of yourself.